Well, well, well. Would you look at that? Juice Pro Wrestling has merch. Support the show by going to prowrestlingtees.com/JPWtees and get yourself a shirt. Enjoy the show.
It doesn't matter how elite you are. It doesn't matter what tribe you're a chief to. It doesn't matter if you're the boss, the man, a woman, a king, the queen. It doesn't matter what day you hold a title. Hell, you can add a new day to the week. I'm still the greatest champion in all of professional wrestling.
You so freaking bad. Wrestle me.
Welcome, everybody, to Juice Pro Wrestling, episode 175, Game Changer. With us tonight, we have a very special guest, the newly minted Impact Wrestling World's Heavyweight Champion, the one, the only, Moose. Moose. You motherfuckers ain't ready. Moose, how the hell are you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing great. Thanks for the amazing introduction, I would say.
I appreciate that. Thank you for the compliment.
Chilling in my Moose Lodge.
I go there too and have a few beers from time to time at the Moose Lodge, man. I didn't know you remember.
Special in my house, I just have this room that's just super man cave. I'll let you guys take a look at it. I have a TV with another TV, video games.
Nice. My kind of room.
Yeah. So I'm just relaxing, chillaxing.
What do you got going on there? Is you got some 2K?
Look like 2K.
Some 2K. I'm a big gamer, so
yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm a big gamer, but I play video games. So like when I don't have absolutely nothing to do, I come in here, watch a movie, maybe play video games. But yeah. I'm still on the old 2K, though. I'm not a big fan. I bought the new one and didn't really like it, so I just went back to playing the old one.
Dude, the last couple have kind of been trash, man. Like, I remember getting hooked. I've been on the 2K kick since Sega Dreamcast days, man. Like, those were great games. And then when they came out with the first one to bring Jordan back in the game, was it 2K11 or I think it was, 2K11.
I know 2K21 is by far my favorite one. This one that they came out with this year is like, I think when making it, they made it more about defense and it's not as fun and free flowing as it was last year. So I was like, screw this.
Yeah. They're always fucking with the controls. Like when they get it right, they always got to fuck you.
Right. And the thing is, it looks exactly the same. It's just they changed the gameplay a little bit and I hate it. So I was like, whatever. I could always just download the new roster and play Yeah.
Last year's is so much better. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I always do the story mode. Create a story mode.
Too.
Yeah. I always jam that. That's always fun.
Yeah.
I just try to play online and talk some shit to people that absolutely suck at the game, you know? I always gotta go old school.
Play online, but I had to stop playing online with every game because there's a lot of ignorance online. There's like race and kids saying shit and just try to get you hot. And like I got to a point I was like, I don't need this negativity. Like I would love to play Call of Duty online, and I still do sometimes, but I'll just take the mic off and turn the
mute them motherfuckers.
Mute,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But then it's like when you play that way, then it's like it's not really fun. But it's so it's like what do you do? Do you play for fun and just risk getting in a group with racist and homophobic and ignorant kids, or do you not play it at all? Like, so I just decided for now, I just stay off the internet, Well,
and that's the thing too. I'm surprised a lot of it is kids. It's young kids. You can tell they're super young, and it's like, man, I would choke you, little motherfucker, and then kick your parents' ass for not teaching you fucking manners, And
one thing I realized, because my wife, me and my wife talk about this all the time. I was like, a lot of these kids that say all this racist and homophobic stuff, a lot of them probably are not even racist or homophobic. They just saying it because they don't know any better. And it was like, oh, I'm going to be a kid. I'm going to be stupid. And I'm just going to say these things. You know what I'm saying? And do you really think a 15-year-old kid actually know what racism is? And I don't believe so. I think it's just that they're stupid,
man.
Kids are just stupid. They do is say things just because they think it's cool and not really knowing they sound like a dumbass,
Yeah, they sound like Beavis and Butthead or some shit.
Yeah.
Fucking whatever. Well, other than Call of Duty and 2K. Well, let me ask you this though. So, who's your team if you're playing in 2K?
Okay, I'm a Laker fan. I'll take that back. I'm not a Laker fan. I'm a Russell Westbrook fan. So, whatever team Russell Westbrook plays, that's the team I'm going to support. So, the last 3 years, I've supported 3 different teams. So,
it's been rough, bro. It's been rough.
The Rockets to the Wizards, and now to the Lakers. So, yeah. Hopefully, he doesn't get traded next year because I'm going to have to pack my bags and move to a new city, I guess.
Hey, we'll take him in Chicago, man. I'd love to have him.
We'll take him in Milwaukee.
I don't think they need them. They're doing great. I think they're undefeated right now.
They're 6-1. They have the best record in the league at the moment, which is insane. Right. First time since Jordan Pippen era, man. But
you know what they say? The season doesn't really start until you're 25 games in.
Yeah.
So it's still early to say, because you could be 6-1 to start and then go on a 6-game losing streak, and now you're 6-6, 6-7. So it doesn't.
For sure.
Yeah, I remember one year the Magic started off 6-0 and didn't make the playoffs. So it was it's too early to say.
Yeah, for sure, man.
It's early. Hey, and a lot of the elite teams know how to pace themselves, so they kind of borderline dick around for, like you said, the first 20, 30, even farther. I know a lot of teams, a lot of the superstars turn on get real heated and get to playing way better right after the All-Star break.
And the same thing with the Lakers are getting a lot of heat right now because they have this big 3 and they're not really gelling right now. But then I'm remember when LeBron went to the Heat? They started out 9-13, and then they made it to the finals. It's
and lost.
But that's the thing. They started out with a losing record the first 25 games.
Yeah.
Where there wasn't even they sucked. And then once they started gelling, they found their groove. And it's so the first 20 games in the season doesn't really mean much because teams are still trying to figure it out and learn how to play with each other. And you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's way too early to even to know anything. Way too early.
Yeah. Once you start getting closer to the All-Star break, then you can start talking.
Once you get closer to the All-Star break, that's when you thought, okay, this is the teams in the hunt. Yeah.
Yep.
Let me ask you this, Moose. What's your favorite era of the NBA, man?
I would have to say right now. I would have to say right now, because honestly, when I was a kid growing up, the only thing about the NBA I remembered was Jordan. I didn't really follow teams. I was just a big Jordan fan. So that's all I followed. And you couldn't really watch all the games. Back then, they didn't have NBA League Pass where you could watch every single game that Chicago plays. You can only watch the primetime games that was on NBC, or I don't even think TNT was a thing back then. I don't think it was. I don't think NBA was on TNT back then. So the only games you could watch were the games that were prime time on national television. And that was like 1 or 2 games a week,
Yeah.
So like, and the only thing every Jordan game, Jordan was always on TV, so that's the only person I really knew. So to answer your question, it was definitely this era because I've been following it a lot more, and like, but I know the next question is probably going to be, who do you think is better, LeBron or Jordan?
No, I wasn't going to bring that up because Michael all the way, dude.
It's Jordan all the way. Not saying that LeBron isn't.
He's great.
And a great, but it's 2 different greatness.
2 different mentalities. Yeah,
2 different mentalities. I would tell people that LeBron is more comparable to Magic Johnson, where Kobe is more comparable to Jordan. So you can't really compare that greatness because it's 2 different kind of greatness. Like,
I think Jordan was just driven to win at all costs, and it didn't matter. He didn't care if he was an asshole. Everybody watched The Last Dance. He pretty much came out and said it, like, "Hey, man, you don't fucking like the shit I dish out, then you're weak, and you don't need to be playing with me." He wanted everybody to be as good, or at least as good as they could be with him. And look what happened because of it, dude.
And I don't think Jordan. Another thing with the difference between Jordan and LeBron, I don't think Jordan cared to make on the court. I don't think he cared to make his players better. I think he was such a good leader that his leading off the court made those guys better. Where LeBron on the court is always trying to get everybody into the game. Like, here's a pass, take a shot. Here's a shot, here's a pass. I'll grab this rebound. Where Jordan was like, hey, during practice, I'm going to push the shit out of you to be your best. But when it's game time, give me the fucking ball. I think there's a difference between both guys. But LeBron is more of a distributor, and he's trying to get everybody into the game. And his basketball IQ is just so well. It's like a coach on the floor. Where Jordan was like, give me the fucking ball. It's my show. I'm going to get us this win. You know what I'm saying? It's 2 different mindsets.
For sure. And dude, he got those wins more often than not. I mean, just that is killer instinct. I've never seen it in any athlete in any sport like Jordan. The will to win at what cost? What does that cost you? And he didn't really seem to care. He just wanted to go out and win championships. Right. It's a shame we didn't, we didn't get one more shot after the 98 season because of management. We all know how management can be in any sport. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no kidding. All you got to say is the flu game.
Oh, that shows us as well. The pizza game now? It's the pizza game now.
Yeah, now it's the pizza game. Yeah.
Got poisoned.
Yep.
Tainted pizza. Some shady ass shit, man. They're fucking, they ain't fucking around in Utah.
I know, right? Utah's terrible. Those fans are fucking crazy, man.
Oh, yeah, man.
Fucking nuts, dude. Hey, let's. I want to kind of dive into this current event that's going on, man, because you started your wrestling career pretty much with Ring of Honor.
Right.
I remember checking you out back then, and in the news lately, they're kind of shutting down after the end of the year, last pay-per-view, and they say they're going to try to come back in April and kind of retool how they do stuff. I don't know if that's true or not. Then you hear rumors that they're wanting to sell their tape library. Like I said, I know it's somewhere you started. You probably got fond memories of that place and some homies there. Like, what's your take on that?
I mean, it sucks. It's definitely heartbreaking that Ring of Honor is going out of business. One thing I would joke about, and it's not really a joke. It's just it's funny how everybody thought that was going to be Impact going out of business, and it's not Impact. Impact is not the company going out of business, but it still sucks. Like, because I have lifelong friends that work there, and I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for Ring of Honor, and a lot of people wouldn't be who they are today in wrestling if it wasn't for Ring of Honor. I mean, they wouldn't be at AEW without Ring of Honor. WWE wouldn't have a lot of their stars if it wasn't for Ring of Honor. Impact wouldn't have a lot of their stars without Ring of Honor. So it's like, it definitely sucks that they're going out of business. But I do think a lot of those guys there are going to be okay because I feel like this is the best era of wrestling ever. Better than the 90s era with WCW and WWE, and because there's just so many companies just like that era in the 90s, there's so many companies that's searching for great talent. You have AEW, you have WWE, you have Impact, you have New Japan, you have Noah, you have AAA, you have
MLW.
MLW. So I feel like a lot of those guys are gonna be okay. And then you think about this in the new year when COVID isn't a thing anymore because it's starting to get better now. All those guys are gonna be booked in the indies, and GCW is coming up, and they're
Moose guy's eye on GCW. I'd like to see you there. Fuck some people up.
I don't know who runs it, but I mean, hey, I would love to work there.
Brett Lauderdale.
Yeah, well, if Brett Lauderdale is watching this, hey, hit me up. But yeah, there's so many amazing companies out there that needs talent. So, I mean, I think a lot of those guys are going to be fine. It just sucks that they have to go through this uncertainty. Do I think Ring of Honor is going to? I think they're done. Because the statement they brought out, they said that they're going to try to start back up in April. It wasn't guaranteed. So
right.
Definitely sucks. But like, I'm good friends with Jay Lethal and EC3 and the Bristols and Kenny King, and I think all those guys there are going to be good. I mean, hopefully, I remember when I heard the news, I got on the phone and talked to Scott, and I was like, "Hey, we need Jay Lethal, we need the Bristol, bring E3 back." So, I mean, hopefully, we get to get some of those talents because it will be amazing. It would definitely help Impact Wrestling. And Impact Wrestling been soaring for the last year and two, man. So adding a couple of those guys is only going to make our products better.
Yeah, so, for sure. AEW doesn't need all the talent, like Impact, dude. And you guys been killing it too, as far as like the cliche thing now, the forbidden door. I mean, you guys, dude, you just got to work a program with Suzuki, dude. What the hell was that like, man?
Right. That's awesome, man. I would say this about Suzuki. He's so different than his on-screen appearance. Mm-hmm. On screen, you think he's a fucking assassin. But
right.
Off screen, he's like the nicest fucking sweetheart of a guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, that was definitely, I wasn't expecting that out to say. But I guess people say the same thing on me, where on screen I look like a terrible fucking despicable human. And
like a fucking titan, dude, like a fucking monster.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I don't think necessarily a lot of those guys need to. I mean, don't get me wrong, AEW is a great fucking company, but I think right now AEW just have a influx of talent. Like they're just loaded with people that like. Would they be able to use a Jay Lethal? Would they be able to use EC3 because of all the talent that they already have,
Yeah.
But which I know Impact doesn't have a lot of guys in. So everybody they have gets to be used properly and gets TV time, which I can't say the same thing for AEW. So hopefully a lot of those guys see the difference between us and AEW and decide to come to us. Not saying
sure.
AEW, because like I said, AEW is is an awesome fucking company, and like Tony Khan is a fucking awesome owner. It's just the truth. Like they have a lot of talent that don't get a lot of TV time because they have everybody
programming, man. Realistically, I mean, you look at what they do with Dark, and I love that they give the independent talent the chance to showcase what they can do on Dark and Dark Elevation. But Rampage is an hour-long show. And
right.
I mean, 3 matches.
Yeah, and you go to TV tapings now, and if they're taping Rampage, like I used to go to, when MLW would come out to Cicero and do TV tapings. I mean, brother, you're going to be there for 5-6 hours. I don't care how big a fucking wrestling fan you are. Sometimes that shit could wear on you. You're like, God damn, man, I got to go home or go get a beer or something. Like,
right.
So it's just they don't have like their own. I don't think they're big, right? They're number 2, right? But they're not big enough to where. Establish a second 2-hour show, like main show somewhere, or do something. I mean, whatever. I'm not the guy running it, but that's what you got to do in order to bring in all this talent. Because we don't want it to be like WCW was, towards the end where they had everybody under the sun signed, but didn't know what to do with them, and they had no time for them.
Right, and that's the thing, like where with all these guys that's leaving AEW or leaving Ring of Honor because they have to. Like for instance, a guy like Jay Lethal, one of the best wrestlers.
Love
in the world.
Jay Lethal.
Would you want to go to AEW to wrestle on Dark Dynamite or Dark Elevation, whatever it's called? Or would you want to go to Impact where you're going to be on actual TV every month and being in the pay-per-view program every 3 months and whatever? So it's like, yeah, AEW might pay you a little bit more than Impact might pay you, but it's about, do you want to be a dark AEW dark guy, or do you want to be on TV guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a decision some of those guys are going to have to make. And not saying that he's not going to be on Rampage or Dynamite, but it's like, if you look at AEW's main roster, they have Moxley, they have Punk, they have Danielson, they have the Elite, they have the Lucha Dragons, they have, I'm probably missing people, the guy that was a TNT champion, the current TNT champion. And you have to make TV time for all these guys that, like, if you bring in another guy, do you have 5 minutes to feature him on a Dynamite show? Or do you have 10 minutes to feature him on a Rampage, knowing you still have to feature all these big name guys that you have? Like, and that's the issue you come into when you have a shitload of talent. It's like, what spot do I have for him for TV? You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Is like, I'm sure I don't know, because I mean it's not my company, but I'm sure the guys there, the owners, the management people there know, and they know they can't just keep signing people because they're going to run into that issue of how do we use them, where do we put them at? Like,
right. Let go of Big Show Mark Henry and get. Sorry.
Actually, no. I mean, I think those guys are great. Like, I mean, you need great locker room guys like that.
Yeah, mentors, you know.
To mentor. Like, I mean, it's not like they're wrestling. Like, I think that they're great. Like, fuck, I would love to have Mark Henry and Big Show and Impact mentoring us. You know what I'm saying? I think they're great for AEW. Have them mentor some of the young guys and teach them how to be stars and teach them how to, because they've been there. They've been that. You know,
especially
what I'm saying?
In big cats, all the new big cats that they're bringing in. You know,
is the issue is signing WWE release a guy and you sign them, and then now we have to find space for them on TV. It's like, after a while, they're gonna have to put their hands down and be like, you know what, we can't sign anybody else. We just got to rock with who we have. Because I mean, think about it. With the talent they have now, they're still selling out arenas and selling out pay-per-views and selling out fucking 30,000 seat arenas. So, do you really need anybody else? Like, that's true.
Yeah, and. Like you said, for a lot of these guys, like Jay Lethal, I fucking love Jay Lethal. He had so many great memories. He's already an established star with Impact / TNA Wrestling. Dude, the Briscoes, very, very early in their career, spent a little bit of time in Impact Wrestling. You know, Kenny King, your homie, Impact Wrestling, former X Division champ. He dropped the title to RVD, you know, like, Juice knows his history. Hashtag throw it in the more you know, Rainbow, motherfucker. Right. But these dudes got a home there. And like you said, for the last couple of years, I'd say last 2-3 years, man, since like, you know, Callis, who's not, from what I understand, in a management or whatever role anymore with Impact, but him and D'Amore, when they came in, they said, hey, you know, we're going to fucking change shit around. We're going to make this product watchable again. And they've done that, dude, tenfold. Like, I've enjoyed the last like 3 years of Impact Wrestling thoroughly. Like, pay-per-views, you guys have been killing it. Weekly TV, you guys kill it. And like you said, Impact utilizes everybody. Dude, like, how do you not fucking end up in tears at some of the shit that like Swingers done on the Swingers Palace? You know, like, the shit's hilarious. They're fucking.
And that's big shout out to the writing crew at Impact with Jimmy Jacobs and RD and Tommy and Scott. All those guys are geniuses, man. And honestly, I'll say this: I hate giving this guy credit, but we wouldn't be in a position now if he wasn't, or if he didn't spend time with Impact with Don Callis. Don is actually, he knows his stuff, man. And big shout out to Don. Big shout out to Scott, because their mentorship definitely got this character I have now to where it's at now. I definitely wouldn't be the character without the advice Don and gave me, and some of the things he some of the ideas he gave me. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Don, even though he's a mark.
He's the invisible mark.
He's an invisible mark. Yeah, he definitely helped with the I wouldn't say creation, but the evolution of Moose.
Yeah, dude. And the evolution, like I said, brother, I've followed you. I remember watching Ring of Honor when you first came in and thinking like, dude, it's always cool to see these guys, right? That come from another sport, whether it's like, I think I'll say like with MMA, one of my favorite people to come from the transition into pro wrestling is Tom Lawler. I think he's absolutely awesome. From the NFL side, dude, holy shit. Like, to see your progression into what you are now, and especially the last couple of years, dude, and your dedication to the sport, the presentation, dude, you got fucking ripped up like shredded wheat, man. You're completely fucking jacked. Your personality and character and charisma is just like, it's there. You are this is the word that everybody should strive to, achieve in wrestling, a believable monster in the pro wrestling game, dude. So like, when you just won this world title and you took it away in what I consider probably one of the best swerve storylines of the year, setting up for all the smart marks out there, setting up a great future program and story, because that's what you guys do in pro wrestling. You tell great stories, especially in Impact. Dude, it's been crazy to watch your evolution, brother, and the things you can do. I remember at Warrior, like, you gonna throw out a Spanish fly or something? Ask you, you're like, no, that's only for like the big shit, the big time matches. Like, it's insane to see how crazy good of an athlete you are with a guy, being a guy your size, man, and coming from the NFL. Like, I've never seen anybody. There's been guys that come from the NFL. It's long storied like relationship with pro wrestling. I mean, you got a lot of old school talent that have came from there and just knocked it out of the park. But dude, you're like in my fucking top 3 of guys that come from the National Football League and absolutely own it in professional wrestling and kill it. And I think you deserve all the accolades and everything that you got right now, including the Impact Wrestling World's Heavyweight Championship.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's just constant hard work, man. Just being consistent with trying to get better. And I feel like some people say it and because it's something good to say, I'm going to work hard, but they're just saying it because it sounds good, where I actually put in the work. And not necessarily, when I say put in the work, I never train. It's been fucking probably 4 months since I actually went to a ring to train. I think I'm past that. I think more of my working is watching film and watching old wrestling and watching guys cut promos and watching
psychology
guys,
of it.
Yeah, psychology and mannerisms. It's not even, I don't even watch the matches to see who wins or who loses. I watch the matches to see how like they act in between spots and like little shit like that a lot of people totally forget about, you know what I'm saying? Which is very important with wrestling. Like I remember when I wrestled at Warrior last time.
Sam Adonis.
Sam. And awesome. I remember when me and Sam calling a match, and I'm not shooting, I'm just talking. And I remember me and Sam calling the match, and he came up to me and was like, "Hey, bro, I don't think this match is going to get over here." And I'm like, bro, I told him, I was like, Sam, like, it's not about the moves and it's not about none of that shit. Just be passionate. Give me a lot of mannerisms. Saying I'm going to give you a lot of mannerisms, and it's going to look like a fight. And that's what's going to stand out between our match and every other match here. And that's what we did. And 8 minutes into the match, we got a "This is awesome" chant. It's like, we don't need, like, when the fans were chanting that, I remember like thinking to myself, like, he said this match wouldn't get over here. Like, because it's like, moves is not one of the, it's like, nobody gives a fuck about moves. Like, that's what, like, you think people care about moves because when you do it, it gets a big pop. But we could also get a big pop by being big, huge, man slapping and beating the fuck out of each other too. Like, because that's what they want to see when two big guys wrestle. They don't want to see flippy shit and lucha spots and backflips and you know what I'm saying? It's cool when you're a big guy, you could do that, but they would rather see two big guys beat the fuck out of themselves. It's just like when you watch your boxing match or an MMA fight, with two heavyweights, nobody's expecting that match to go the distance.
They want to knock out,
fucking knockout in the first, second round. That's what you want to see with two big guys wrestling. I mean, when you see two 145-pound flyweights wrestle, you're probably it's probably going to go the distance, and it's probably going to be an exciting match, and it's going to be fast. But with two big heavyweights in there, you're like, oh, this shit is going to be over by round 3 at least. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with wrestling. There's no fucking difference with wrestling. It's
right.
So, but it's just studying my craft and trying to get better. And I'm still doing that. I'm still not perfect. I still have a long way to go. I'm still studying and trying to get better every day.
Well, and dude, and it shows. And going back to the match with Adonis, dude, you guys killed it. You know, like you said, the first 8 minutes of the match, you know, I'm watching backstage, and I kind of ventured out and watched from outside the side door. And you guys, when you were going at it on the outside of the ring, and dude, the crowd was so into it. There were Moose chants. There were, Sam Adonis chants, because he's been a Warrior for so long now, and it was super cool to see. That's what you want in like a heavyweight presentation. You want like at least that's what I want, a crowd that's split down the middle,
Right.
Like, and these motherfuckers are going hard. You guys went real hard, man. It was a fucking amazing match, dude. That's what
I loved it. One thing I loved about it was we got a great reaction, and we didn't do much. Like, It wasn't hard, like we didn't do much. If you go back and watch it, we didn't do much. Like, and that's what I love about wrestling is like, and that's what I've been big into this last year is like, how can I get a huge reaction without having to do a lot? Mm-hmm. And that's my big thing now. And that's always going to be my thing, to see if I could get the most reaction with doing the least, And that's for sure. At the end of the day, that saves your body, because you don't have to wrestle a PWG style.
Right. Everybody's got that proverbial bump card, right?
It's like, fuck that. Like, how can I get a PWG reaction without doing the wrestling PWG style match? That's my thing now.
Let me ask you this. What does it mean to you, if you look at it perspective wise, from where you started in the wrestling business to now with I consider Impact Wrestling, I always have. I mean, I've been watching them since TNA, since the Wednesday night pay-per-views, the major wrestling promotion. What does it mean to you for them to have the faith in you to hold the world title? Like, what's your feelings on that, man? Like, how does that fucking, was the moment you won or found out that you were going to do what you were going to do, and now, we're like a couple weeks removed from that. What's going on upstairs with that, man?
I'm kind of indifferent about it. I mean, it feels good for a company to put the championship on you and be like, hey, you're our guy, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it is just a prop. Like, it is just a prop. Like, one thing I have noticed with this prop though is it makes you busier, because when I didn't have this championship, I didn't have to do all these interviews, and I didn't have a million pre-tapes a day. And
I asked you for this interview before I even knew. I was expecting for sure. Like, we've had Josh on the show. I was like, hey man, I can't wait for you to win that strap. I was like smart marking out. Like, I know they're going to throw it on you. And I got, the fucking awesome swerve out of this, but
so at the end of the day, like, it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying being Impact World Champion, because I mean, obviously you don't become a wrestler without wanting to be one day being a world champion,
Right.
At the end of the day, I can't take it too hard and be like, I'm the world champion, I'm the best in the world, blah, 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 blah. And this Quinn talking, not Moose, obviously, because Moose feels different. At the end of the day, I'm still going to work hard. I'm still going to work as hard as I've been working. It doesn't mean I'm going to look at wrestling different, because I know as Quinn Ojanaka that this title I have is just a prop. It's just for storytelling. And it doesn't make me any better or any less than who I was before I had it. So I still have to put the work in. I still have to do exactly what I've been doing before I even got this thing. So it's just another day in the office. Like I get that from Bill Belichick. It doesn't matter how many games you win. It doesn't matter if you go to the playoffs. You have to look at it as just another day in the office. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's one thing I took from Bill, and it's just another day in the office, winning the title. I'm still going to do the same things I've been doing, and nothing is going to change, you know?
Yeah, for sure, brother. I remember, speaking of this, kind of a good little segue here. I remember asking you at Warrior, I was like, hey, man, who do you think was going to have the game that week? I forgot who the fuck the Bears were playing. I don't think it really mattered at this point. But you were like, I don't really keep up too much with football. I mean, obviously, ex-NFL player. Is it just what's going on with that? Is it just something you're so focused on what you're doing in your profession? Is there do you still have a love for the game or what, man?
I never had love for football. It's like I never was a fan of football. I never watched it. Never cared for it. I still don't watch it. I still don't care for it. I might catch highlights here and there on ESPN, like if I'm watching ESPN in the morning or doing cardio. But football is just something I was good at. And
right. And you got to hit motherfuckers, right?
Yeah, did it because my friends did it. It was a way to hang out with my friends after school, and luckily it took me places that you can only dream of going to, you know. But I never was and still am not a football fan. Like, so yeah, I don't watch it. I couldn't tell you. I know the Bucks are doing pretty good right now because they're always being talked about on ESPN. So I know that the Bucks and the Cowboys are pretty good.
Fucking Tom, I don't eat strawberries, Brady.
I couldn't tell you the top 5 teams in the NFL right now. Like I couldn't because I don't keep up with it at all.
That's cool, man. That's that's fine. That's kind of wow. That was I didn't expect that answer, but I like it. I appreciate that. You were on the Patriots, obviously. You played for a few different teams. Even me and Sredner in Indiana. You played for the Colts for a hot second. What was your relationship like though with like Tom Brady? You ever talked to him? Was there any camaraderie there? Or
yeah, for sure. I mean, I was cool with him. He's a great guy. Like he's how do I say it? He's a quarterback you would want to block your ass all for because of just his determination and just how he treats you on and off the field. So like he definitely has that respect for me and pretty much has that respect from everybody he plays with because he's that great and he actually loves it. And you could see the passion in his face and in his heart when you talk to him. I mean, we've hung out, we've went to bars, we've done team stuff together. Does he remember who I am now? Probably not, but because I was only there for a year, so. But who knows? Right. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. I would say he doesn't, but
fuck it. You guys are both winning championships. Dude, speaking of winning championships too, because early on in your Impact career, you had what was that? They did almost. What's that?
I had the grand champion, the grand championship. I was a 2-time grand champion.
That was, and they had kind of like MMA rules for that.
Yeah, it was like.
Was that Billy Corgan's idea?
Yeah, that was Billy Corgan's idea, and I'm sorry, Billy, but that was a terrible fucking idea. And now, don't get me wrong, there was history behind that idea because I guess back in
Paul
the
Heyman.
80s, maybe 70s, it was something big that they did in England with having rules, with having rounds. Okay. I mean, but I just think in this era of wrestling is stupid because it's stupid because let's say the last minute of a round, you got the crowd up here and then the round ends and then you have to take a 2-minute break. And that 2-minute break, you just got the crowd from being up here right back down to 0. And then when the round starts, you have to find a way to bring them back up. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, it sucks. It's kind of like watching a killer match, the match being over, and now you're waiting for the next match to come on. It's like, and that's why I felt like those rounds that rounds were. I think it was stupid. Great idea, but just not for wrestling. I don't think it's something for wrestling. Unless you go back to how WWE did it when it was like shoot boxing, then yeah, maybe maybe you could do that, but like, not with wrestling.
A brawl for all.
Yeah. I heard stories that idea, because at one time I remember hearing that Dixie was trying to bring Paul Heyman in, and Heyman had these ideas that, he wanted full control, and I think Billy was still kind of involved around that. Maybe this is where Billy got the idea that to have more of a Paul Heyman's thing was like, okay, at the time we went, and mind you, this is 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. We wanted to make it more of because MMA was huge, like an MMA style thing, more of a legit sporting kind of deal that he thought it would be something that worked. And I just remember like when it came down to it and I was watching, I was like, God damn, man, like this is just, I'm not here to shit on it. Like you, I'm not, it was just
better idea on paper.
It was,
No, I think it was a better idea on paper than I haven't met one guy on the roster who actually liked that format.
Right.
I thought it was stupid. Like the belt was cool and all, but I thought it was dumb. Now the idea I have, which I think would be a great idea, but obviously nobody in Impact's listened to me, and I think that's for good reasons anyway. I think you come out with a championship that the winner of the championship always picks the stipulation of the match. So if you are a hardcore guy, you win it. Obviously, all your matches are going to be hardcore stipulations. If you're a technical guy or submission guy, or maybe all your match would be submission only matches. If you're fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I like that idea.
If you're good at ladder matches, maybe if you're an X Division guy, maybe all your match would be Ultimate X match. Like I feel whoever the champion is picks the stipulation of the match. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be cool. Something that's never happened. It'll be a different title, and the champion of that title always gets the shot of what he wants.
And that's cool because, I mean, realistically, the champion should always dictate, because in pro wrestling across the board, whenever, they're talking about like, I have the title, I have all the power, I have all of the stroke. What is that power? What is that stroke? It should be dictate whatever match you want to have. You're the guy with the gold. You're the face that runs the motherfucking place. What are we going to do? Whatever match that you want to do.
Right. I think maybe they bring the grand champion back and make that the stipulation with it. The champion always gets to pick the stipulation of his match, of his championship match.
Yeah, and they should. I mean, they brought this digital media thing in, and I'm kind of like indifferent on that whole thing. Not to, I love Impact, so I'm not trying to shit on them, but I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. It always puts a challenger like in the spot where, damn, I'm going into this match wrestling this champion in a match that he's great at. Like, you know what I'm saying? So let's say you're Josh Alexander and you're a great technical wrestler and you're wrestling Sammy Callahan, who his thing is being a hardcore guy. Now, you have to go in you have to beat him in his style match. So you at a disadvantage, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or, it adds more to the story, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Champ is the grand champion, and he's a champion. His match is a submission match. I'm not a submission wrestler. I don't think I've ever beaten anybody with a submission move. So I'm going into this championship match in a disadvantage because I have to beat the guy who's known for technical wrestling and submitting people at his game. You know what I'm saying? So that tells a better story, and like it just gives you better stories you can tell.
Yeah, and then imagine the reaction once you do, you say it is like Josh Alexander or somebody who's technical or that, uses submission moves, but you're able to beat him at his own game. Like you said, the storytelling, man, it's like, wow, Moose just fucking did that. Like we didn't expect that. Like that's fucking great. That's surprising. That's what we want as wrestling fans,
Right. And I can't believe nobody's ever thought about this. Like, is insane to me that nobody has ever thought about this format of a championship with this format. Like,
well, you probably just fucked up, Moose, because people are gonna watch and hear this right now and steal your motherfucking idea, and you're gonna be sitting on your couch like in the Moose Lodge, like, wait, what did I just hear? They're gonna do what?
I'll be out because I'm the one who invented it. So always go down. You have this on file. Oh, I invented this match, whatever this site or whatever.
There it is.
Makes it up, calls it. I invented it.
That's right. We'll back you 110%, brother.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see that.
I want to go back because we kind of somewhat talked about this. Not really. We didn't really get into that, but at Warrior, God, I'm trying to think who was with me. Maybe it was my buddy JR that did the painting that you signed. And said something about the robe. I like how you kind of fucked with him too. He's like, you fucked my ribs up. my abs. You're like, you got my abs all fucked up. He was like, for a split second, he's like, shoot, like, oh, like, I'm just fucking with you. But and you had mentioned that you haven't worn the robe in, like a year since the EC3 program, which I think that program was very pivotal and vital to like the character that you are now. Like, so can you take us back through that whole experience, like working with him and, from the build up to the conclusion of how that morphed, the Moose character?
Yeah, 100%. I don't know whose idea it was to bring EC3 in to have that feud with them. But I do know for a while there have been talks with me changing, because I've been a heel now for a while. I've been a heel since 2000.
Shit, it's been like, yeah.
I want to say 2018, so 3 years. Yep. And my heel run has never been this aggressive, where I'm this evil villain and fucking despicable. I've always been more of a sometimes funny, sometimes serious, sometimes outlandish, entertaining heel, where I know Scott, we had this conversation where we needed to find, between me, Scott, and Don, we had this conversation where we needed to find a way to turn me to this monster type of heel, this monster who just wants to kill people and don't care about shit, just want to hurt people and just being a despicable, evil, fucking vile.
Love it. I love it.
And we didn't want to just make the switch without a reason to make the switch. So once the EC3 got released from his contract and he was doing his control your narrative thing, they thought it would be a good idea that, okay, this could be the guy that could help you make that switch. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you follow the storyline, the writers did an amazing job with it, because it was great, because with what EC3's new path was, he was trying to, he just found himself. Took him years to find himself, going through the media and corporations and going back to WWE and them, I guess, fucking with his head. And he had to like take a step back to find himself. And now he found who his real self is. He came back to Impact to help me find who my real self is. So everybody, like, if you look at the story between me and him, it was like, he never wanted to hurt me. He never wanted to beat me up. He never wanted to actually kill me. The swerve of the story was he just wanted me to find myself as this fucking monster. So when we had that match in Bound for Glory, that's when the message he was sending that's when I actually got it. Like, also, this whole time you've been tormenting me and following me and fucking doing all this fucking ridiculous, crazy shit to me just so I could beat this evil, vile, despicable human being. And that's what helped me make
your true narrative, your true self.
It's my true self. So that storyline was definitely helped with the character evolution and the where I am now. So big up, shout out to EC3, shout out to Don and Scott and the writers for writing that amazing story. And that's the crazy thing about it. Like, people shit on Impact, but they don't really even watch the product to understand the story going on. They just go on Twitter and be like, "Oh, this happened. This is bullshit. Like, this is stupid." But they don't even watch it, because if you watch it and you watch the story, you understand like, oh fuck, Impact really goes deep in their storytelling. Like, this is
deep.
some fucking
put that ass to sleep.
Shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is like some movie writing type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah,
that's all the main.
All they do is see a 30-second clip out of like months and months worth of storytelling and shit on it.
Right.
And like, how does that make sense?
And this is the thing. Everybody is going to be. I have no idea what's going on with the storyline with me and with the title and with me or Josh and me or whoever I'm wrestling for the title. I have no idea. And this is me being honest. But I feel like fans are going to want to see that match right away. Or we want to see Josh and Moose right away. But if we give it to you,
you can't have it right away. You can't
have it right away. Like,
dude.
That's
wrestling.
Impact, knowing Impact, that match is not going to happen for another 6 to 8 months. Like, where you're going to have maybe even longer, where you're going to have to keep watching and keep watching and keep watching. And the thing they don't realize about that, the longer you wait, the more you're going to want to see Josh kick my ass. But we're not going to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Because, and that's the thing. It's like,
that's old school, dude.
But, that's old school booking. But fans don't get that because they want everything right now.
A bunch of whiny ass fucking millennial crybaby sons of bitches. Fuck them. You know, if they don't get it. What does Bad Luck Fale say? Fuck them.
So it's like it's one of those things that they're gonna want it right away. And like, oh fuck, we're not getting Josh versus Moose this pay-per-view, or fuck, like we're not getting him. Oh, this is bullshit. But like, and then when they finally get it, and if Josh finally beats me, then everybody's happy, and that's how you tell a story. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we give it to you now, then what do we do? Fucking 8 months from now, you know what I'm saying? It's like they don't get it. Like, it's just like,
And not only that, and I didn't really argue this with anybody because I try to stay off that shit. You know, I see all the bullshit that happens on fucking Twitter and social media when it's negative, and I read it and I'm like, I find myself like maybe typing out something, like wanting to be like, hey, you dumb son of a bitch. But then I'm like, nah, I'm just as bad as this person. I'm pulling back, you know? Like when you won, like I felt I read a lot of positive stuff, but it felt like at first there was a lot of negative shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, why is that? Because this wasn't a fucking Vince Russo swerve, you know. I didn't expect that. And I considered myself to be a huge fucking in the know. Like I could pretty much kind of predict maybe where they're gonna go with the story, even though like I do enjoy when I don't know. Because that's the fun of fucking professional wrestling, you know? And that happened. And Impact gave me what I wanted because like I told you earlier, I saw Josh, former guest of the show, great guy. Fucking saw him at Warrior. Hey, brother, what's up? Can't wait to see you with that fucking gold on your shoulder around your fucking waist. Yeah, thanks, man. We'll see. He wins it. Next thing you know, fucking evil ass Moose coming fucking shit up, destroying dreams, you know, like... And winning the strap, and it's so awesome. It's such great storytelling. It's setting things up, and it brings you back to. And I saw some stuff, and I think I commented. You know, you posted something on Twitter. You know how you were getting like homophobic and racist fucking remarks on that. You know, because that story and that happened because people just don't get it, and they're not getting what they want. And whatever, it's life, motherfuckers. We don't all get what we want. Just sit back and enjoy the ride if you're a true pro wrestling fan, you know? Right. Like, yeah, Cry Me a River, JT said it best, right? I'm sitting there thinking, like, this is fucking awesome. And not only that, now when down the road, like you said, whatever time it may be, and if it's good storytelling and old school storytelling, it may be 6 months to a fucking year. Josh wins the belt back. Now he's a 2-time fucking champion. Who cares if he held the belt for 2 minutes before you fuck shit up? Right. Which is awesome. And but it just adds more to there's so much more, all these different layers to this story that people don't get, man. Like one of the best and AEW tells great stories, a great company. Everybody fucking loves them. We're marks for AEW, right? But dude, I can't think of a fucking story, more entertaining, compelling story that they've done compared to this in a long time. Because I was like, I just did not see that shit coming, dude.
No, I don't think this is the thing. I feel like, and no disrespect to you guys, I feel like if you are a real, if you know professional wrestling, like if you know old school booking, You should have saw it coming. And I say that I say that because of this. Okay, so early in the night, right? I won the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Right?
I should have known right fucking there.
Now, Wrestling 101, unless is old school fucking WWE, where WWE don't mind putting the title on the babyface and having the babyface hold it for a year or whatever. But Wrestling 101, who usually chased after the title?
Always the face.
Always the baby.
Yeah, always the face.
So
a white meat.
I didn't cash in that night with the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. You have a heel who has.
I love how you dumped Kaz's ass out too. That was great.
Yeah. So you have this heel who has this Call Your Shot Gauntlet that he could win he could call his shot at any time, right? So technically this heel would be the baby because I would be the one chasing after it. So I feel like you had to get rid of it. I had to get rid of it as soon as possible because so I'm not the one chasing after it, because usually the guy who's chasing after the title eventually is the guy who gets the baby face rub, because it's like, oh man, we want Moose to win it so bad. He has to call his shot gauntlet, blah, 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 blah. I can't wait to see Moose win it. But now that I've fucking been a dirtbag and taken everything away from Josh, now it's settled back where the baby face is chasing it now. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So like, and it sucks that, like, obviously I don't care what people think. They can hate me, they can like me. At the end of the day, if they hate me, I'm doing a good job because I want them to hate me. I just hate that it gets to, there are people out there who hate me so bad that
they cross into reality.
They cross into reality with calling me the N-word and fucking DMing me racial stuff. Is like, come on, like, is it that serious? Like, are you that butthurt over something that's not even real to like break the wall of reality and entertainment? To disrespect me. Like, would you see a movie with Denzel and hate the ending and text Denzel, you fucking right. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like,
brother. Don't drop it. Don't drop the bomb.
Yeah. Like, come on, is it that fucking serious? Like right? That's what makes me upset. Like, but me taking, me being who I am and always trying to find the positives out of everything. I remember when I saw people tweeting me and saying the racial stuff, and I heard a video of somebody yelling the N-word during my promo. And I text Scott, and I was like, well, I guess I'm the best heel in wrestling because I'm the only one who've gotten people to go racial on me. And like, it was, I mean, as sad as it is, like, and I love Scott to death, but it was just a way to turn that negative thing into something positive that we can laugh at. You know what I'm saying? But it just sucks. But would I do it again? Yes, I would, because I don't give a fuck. And I don't.
That's that old school heat, man. That's, to me, that's like back in the day with like the Freebirds, dude. People hated the motherfucking Freebirds, dude. Like
throwing urine on you.
Yeah, dude. That kind of heat. You know, if you're getting heat like that, or like, you know, people are trying to fucking stab you or do whatever. Unfortunately, in this, you know, being fucking idiots and throwing out racial slurs, you know, I mean, dude, you're doing your fucking job as a heel, as a motherfucking heel,
killing it.
Which is a good segue into this, dude. You cut an amazing fucking promo, and was this something that just came from your gut, like, you know, passion, heat of the moment, shit? Like, maybe, and I could be wrong. Maybe this is me just putting myself in your position as the Impact champ and like, fuck all the, you know, all this other shit. I'm fucking the man. Like, you can watch this and that. But dude, on Impact Wrestling, you know, you're saying you could be elite, you know, you can be the boss, you can be the man, all that shit. And it doesn't fucking matter because you are the motherfucking man, dude. Like, where did that promo come from? And how the fuck did you cut it so damn good? Because you're supposed to be the guy that's getting all the heat right now, right? And these people are hating on you. But goddamn, brother, there were people in the crowd that are just Moose.
Yeah. Moose. It was definitely, they told me I had they told me about the segment with myself and Eddie and Suzuki and Josh, and they told me in between all that segment I would have 3 minutes to cut a promo and think about what you want to say, and make sure whatever you say is good because this is your first time talking as a champion. And in my mind, I was like, okay, I could go out there and cut your typical bullshit promo about I'm going to be a fighting champion or I'm going to be a champion who fucks people up, which has been done before.
Yeah.
So everything that I thought about saying and out there, it was like, I'm just going to be saying stuff that champions before me, heel or face, have said. What can I say that's going to make a statement? Or what can I say that's going to, in today, let's be serious, let's be real. In today's era of wrestling, social media is where it's at. Because social media runs fucking the world right now. Yeah. And people hate to accept, some people hate to accept that, but it is what it is. Social media right now runs the entertainment world.
Right.
So in my mind, I was like, I have to say something. I have to cut a promo that is gonna have people buzzing and have the internet buzzing and it's gonna be very controversial without actually being controversy, without actually saying anything bad about anybody. So I went into the room by myself, grabbed my pen, grabbed my paper for about like 15, 20 minutes, sat to myself and thought about what I could say. And then as I was writing, I just thought about, it's kind of like writing a rap song. It was like, just think about different lyrics and things to say. And after I was done, I was like, holy shit, this could be really fucking good. Let me, first of all, before I even think about saying this, let me go make sure that I have the clearance to say this.
No, don't make sure, brother. Fucking go out.
I have to get a paycheck. I don't want to get fired. So I told the writers, I told the head man, they loved it. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm saying it. And if you hear the promo, I never took a jab. Everybody was like, I shot at WWE and I shot out at AEW. I took a shot at AEW and I was like, I never took a shot at anybody. I never said one bad thing about anybody. If anything, I put them all over. I just said I'm better than all of them. You know what I'm saying? At least the character Moose just said he's better than all of them. I never said anything bad. So it's kind of like I said it.
You were following up a great moment, like what you did to win the title. Like you said, you this is your first promo as champion. You need to follow it up with something great, and you did. And you basically said not only did you put yourself over, but to me as a fan, you put fucking Impact Wrestling over, dude. Like which made me fucking just want to punch my TV screen. Like fuck yeah, this is awesome.
And I hate to put this guy over again. It seems like I'm keep putting this guy over. Fucking Don fucking Callis. I remember when he was he used to work with me on my promos, and he always used to tell me one thing you never want to do, you never want to put anybody down in your promos. You always want to put them over, and then when you put yourself over, you seem greater than all of them. So I used that in my mind as reference when I was writing this promo, because I was like, it doesn't matter how elite you are, I put him over because I'm telling
you're saying they're elite.
I'm saying he's elite.
Exactly.
Like, doesn't matter what tribe you're chief to, I'm putting him over because I'm telling him he's the chief. It was like, it doesn't matter if you're the boss. And Sasha's a good friend of mine. I'm putting her over because I think she is the boss. It doesn't matter if you're the man. I think I'm the greatest champion of all time. It doesn't matter if you're the queen, like Charlotte, I'm friends with her too. But I just feel like all these people that I put them over as who they are because they're all legendary and they're all the best in this business right now. I just think I'm the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I put myself and Impact over as a whole. You know what I'm saying? But
put yourself in that elite, no
group.
Pun intended circle. Right. Yeah, that group. Man.
But the way internet works, everybody thinks I took a shot at it.
Right.
Oh, Moose shoots on blah blah blah, and I mean,
most people are stupid. I think we established
that's not the shoot. I didn't shoot on anybody. I just put myself over on everybody. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like I have no heat with anybody because a lot of those people I mentioned I'm good friends with or I'm associates with, and I'm cool with them when I see them, and I think they're all great, and I think they're all the elite in this, no pun intended, in this business. And I'm just put myself up there with them, and what's wrong with that? Nothing at all.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah,
Was there?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, to me, it was like you basically saying, hey, you got the elite, you talk about the elite, you talk about these people. Well, you can't talk about these people without mentioning Moose. You can't leave me out of that. That's kind of like what I got out of that, and it worked. It
worked because when I wrote this promo, I didn't think it was gonna get the clout and the praise and the mentions and whatever you call it that it got. But it seems like as soon as it was her, I got my phone blowing up from people who work everywhere, people who work in AEW, people who work in WWE, everybody been like, oh my God, that was a hell of a fucking promo, great job, blah, blah. And I didn't think it was gonna in my mind, I was like, I need to make a statement, but damn, I made a fucking statement because I had everybody hitting me up and DMing me and texting me and messaging me and emailing me about this promo. So I was like, well, hopefully, and then if you look at the views that it got with Impact, I don't think, and I hate to put myself over because I pride myself on being humble. I don't think anything Impact has put on Twitter have gotten more than 100,000 views, but this is up to 300,000 views now. This promo, wow. I'm like, damn, so hopefully it goes down as epic of a promo as the Steiner Math promo and the Jay Lethal and Woo Off with Ric Flair. That's what my hopes is. I hope it goes down in history as one of those epic promos and Impact history. You know what I'm saying? So that's my hopes with that promo. And it's just funny, going back to stupid fans again. And I try not to look at mentions of what people said, but it was a couple of them that I saw. Obviously, I'm not gonna read 1,000 mentions of guys what people have to say. But it was a couple that I saw. It was oh, Moose talks so slow, he put me to sleep. And that's my fucking character. Obviously, I don't talk that menacing and slow in real life.
You're methodical, man.
I'm not. My character, you idiot, is methodical, and he talks very slow and kind of if you've seen that movie, No Country for Old Men, how that's kind of what my character is based off, and he talks very methodical and very slow and menacing. You know what I'm saying? So you could understand every single word that comes out of his mouth, but because it's not appealing to some fans, they think, oh, he's stupid. He talks slow. He almost put me to sleep with this pro. It was suck my butt.
That's a new one. We're gonna fucking rename this episode "Suck My Butt."
You heard it here first.
Yeah, man, dude, fucking awesome, and that's cool. That was good. I'm glad you kind of touched on it because that was gonna be my next question. Was what who was it that responded to you after that promo in the wrestling biz? And you pretty much said that everybody from everywhere was dude,
everybody from producers to wrestlers from agents in different companies, everybody responded. So it was that. I mean, and I'm happy that I did something in wrestling to warrant that response from people. I felt like more people responded to me. No, not feel like. I know for sure more people hit me up about that promo than actually congratulating me for winning the title, which is big for me.
That's huge.
Dude, it's fucking awesome. And man, it's a long time coming. There were a lot of people that wanted you to take the belt. I was one of those people that I was like, fuck, if anybody was going to take the belt off Omega, it should have been Moose. It was Christian Cage. And hey, man, great. Like I said, going back to great storytelling, they gave it to Christian Cage. He had this, which I thought was a cool move because he had this connection with Impact. It was cool to see him come back to Impact and do, the stuff that he did there. And then for Josh to take it and you to fucking say, no, he didn't say the magic word and fuck shit up. Great, man.
It's great storytelling. I've said it since day one. I believe Impact has the best storylines in wrestling. It's just a lot of people don't watch our product to know that. They just shit on it without even watching the product. But I tell fans this all the time. Watch Impact for a month, and you'll be hooked because the storylines are fresh. They're all different. We have great writers with RD and Jimmy and Scott and Tommy, and those guys know exactly how to write a great wrestling show. So,
is Tommy? Is he back on board with you guys right now, or what's going on? I know he's back on the radio show.
No, unfortunately not. But hopefully he comes back soon because he's. I'm sad that what happened with him happened because Tommy is a sweetheart of a man.
Yeah.
He's a fucking awesome individual, and
he's a casualty of the culture, man.
Yeah, and all the people who cancel them are fucking idiots because they don't know him personally to know that how great of a man he is. And I feel like that's, if you ask anybody about Tommy Dreamer, that's what they will say about him. He's an awesome individual, and he doesn't deserve what he's getting right now. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, for sure, brother. For sure. Moose, as we wind down here, I want to ask you, because I like to get in the main point of like the show and what we do when we do interviews is, kind of out of the box to get fans and people to identify with more with our guests and to know them a little bit better. I'm a huge music dude. Me and Bodie both do the band scene. We do the hardcore fucking metal stuff. I'd like to know when you're working out or doing whatever, just kicking it, chillaxing, what is on your fucking iPod or your iPhone or whatever? What kind of music are you rocking out to, man?
I listen to every genre of music except for country.
Yeah, because country sucks. I'm sorry, man.
Especially now.
Country, I'd rather get smashed in the head with a light tube than fucking.
You hear that?
That's music
Gage?
to my ears.
Oh, yeah, but I have every genre of music in my phone, on my Spotify, like literally every genre from rock to rap to R&B to everything to pop. I just don't have country, so I'm well diverse and rounded when it comes to music.
What's some of your favorite groups or artists?
I'm a big. You talking about rock?
Anything, man. Because I get down. I get down to rock, the rap. I'm an old school rap guy. So I listen to like Ghetto Boys, Eazy-E. The end of our show, which you're about to experience here in a couple minutes, is a dedication to Eazy-E. So
when it comes to rap, I'm big on right now. Slim Thug. Not Slim Thug. Young Thug. I'm sorry. Wayne, Drake. Obviously Wale because he's a huge wrestling fan. When it comes to rock, I'm big on 3 Days Grace. And I feel like the only reason I like 3 Days Grace because there was an era in wrestling where they did all WWE pay-per-views, like every single show. It was like the main artist playing on it. So I'm big fans of them. What's the name of this other group? This group that sang Crying Like a Bitch. You heard that song?
Yeah, I know what song you're talking about. I just can't remember who did that.
They have a bunch of fucking songs. One of them is Crying Like a Bitch.
Is that Godsmack?
Godsmack, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I like Godsmack, 3 Days Grace, Breaking Benjamin. I think that's about it. As far as favorites.
Hell yeah, man. Well, right now, Moose, we fucking appreciate and love having you on the show, and you're welcome back anytime, brother. Right now is the time for you to let people know what you have coming up and where they can find Moose merch at and all that good shit. So I'm gonna leave it to you.
I don't, except for pro wrestling tees, which I don't even know what. I'm not big on merch selling. Like, it's like when I go to shows, I have 8x10s or whatever. But as far as t-shirt, I guess you could go to Pro Wrestling Tees and whatever shirts I have there. They're nothing new. They're all shirts I made like 5-6 years ago. They're still
typical heel. Yeah. I don't fucking have merch. I'm a bad guy. You don't want to buy merch.
You can follow me on Twitter at the Moose Nation. Instagram is Moose Nation 69. I don't check my Facebook, so good luck with Facebook. And what do I have coming up? I have a show in upstate New York. I couldn't tell you the name of the company because I never know the name of any of the company that I work for, except for like Warrior, like ones I've worked for consistently. And then we have
Steve, you hear that, Eric? You got that moose rub.
Yeah. So we have Impact tapings and a live pay-per-view November 9th, 20th in Las Vegas. I have New Japan. November 13th versus Juice. The Juice versus the Moose. That should be
that false flagging motherfucker.
I'm actually really looking forward to that match because just because of the names. And the fans are gonna have a great time with the interactions with Juice versus Moose. It's all there's a chantable name versus another chantable name. So
yeah,
I'm really looking forward to that just because of that aspect of it. And yeah, that's it.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, once again, congratulations from all of us here at Juice Pro Wrestling on the big title win, man. It's been a long time coming. We're all so happy to see your progress in love and your dedication to the business, the sport of professional wrestling, man. And everybody be sure to tune in to Impact Wrestling. They're on Thursdays on Access TV. You guys can get the Impact Plus app and catch up on all previous episodes. I know they're doing something now with YouTube where it's like $12 for the year. And it's like, what is it? Impact Insiders, I think is what it's called. And you guys get access to all kinds of great content. So be sure to check that out. And like Moose said, give them a fucking month and watch, and you guys will be hooked. Hook, line, and sinker, because they have consistently been the best storytellers throughout professional wrestling for the last several motherfucking years. You can believe it because it's the motherfucking truth. Hey, Moose, from all of us at Juice Pro Wrestling, thank you so much for coming on the show, brother. I'd love to do it again with you sometime. Yeah, fucking love you, man. Until next time.
Too, man. For having me, man. You guys have a great night.
Hey, you too, bro. It's a pleasure, man.
Appreciate it.
Hell yeah, brother. Take it easy.
Moose.
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 Are you ready? Yeah, fuck yeah. That was our amazing fucking interview with the Impact World's Heavyweight Champion. That's right, because we only get champions. No, we don't only get champions, but we get champions on this podcast. So make sure you tell your friends to like, subscribe, and share, and follow us on YouTube, on any podcasting platform. We're fucking everywhere. Make sure you rate and review us. Share. Enjoy the motherfucking fun. Go to Pro Wrestling Tees. You can buy Moose merch. You could also buy Juice Pro Wrestling merch there. I'd like to thank everybody that bought shirts in the month of October. You guys fucking really came up and showed out. I really appreciate that. Bodie appreciates that. Sretton maybe not so much because he's a quiet son of a bitch. Whatever. Fuck him. Fuck his life. Hey, we love you guys. Make sure you keep sharing, spreading the gospel according to Juice. Bruiser Bodie, it's the fucking savage. Follow us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and sometimes TikTok. We'll be there to take care of you. Ooh. Yeah. Do us a favor. Spread that motherfucking flavor. Until next time, this is the Juice saying, wet 'em up, wet 'em up, wet 'em up. Fucking Moose is this shit. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, he is.
You gonna do sex to me?
Did you like that video? If so, be sure to hit like and subscribe and check out more killer content from your boys at Juice Pro Wrestling. Whoa, yeah!